Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, new me. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding.
New Year, new podcast.
Hey. Did you do anything wild for New Year's?
No! I did exclusively the same thing I do every other night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
It's fair. I went to bed. Didn't
Did
make
you
it to
even
midnight.
say? Did you even see Midnight?
No.
I did see Midnight, and I am and have been for the past X amount of years the living embodiment of the stick guy meme. He's at his computer,
Yeah.
holds up the firecracker,
Yeah.
puts it back down, goes back to what he's doing. Yeah, that's me.
Yep.
Woo! All right.
Sounds about right. We did drink a full bottle of champagne. I forgot about that.
Worth.
It's fine.
I didn't do any of that.
I mean, for no particular reason. It was like, let's open a bottle of wine. We'll drink it New Year's. Yeah. And then
'Cause
we
there's-
found a bottle of champagne. And we're like, all right, well, I
Perfect,
guess
nailed
it's-
it.
Yeah.
There's also something that would have been sad about me sitting at my desk alone.
Drinking a bottle of champagne.
Just drinking a bottle of champagne. Not playing games with anybody, by the way. Just in my own... I think I was playing Like a Dragon. And it was... I don't know, something about just sitting here with a bottle of champagne. And I wouldn't have brought a... Let's be fair, I wouldn't have brought a glass up.
Just straight out
I
of the
would have
bottle.
just straight out of the bottle drank an entire bottle of champagne. It wouldn't have been good. It would have been a pretty sight.
Listen, get some orange juice in the mix and...
Oh, we're mimosing.
Yep.
I don't know. Mimosas are fun, but they're not like...
I enjoy them.
Yeah.
It's probably, I enjoy them probably because I have them so sparingly.
Yes, fair enough. It's got to be the right balance, though. You know.
Yeah.
If it's too much orange juice, just give me orange juice. If it's too much champagne, just give me champagne.
Yeah.
I need the right balance. I need to have orange juice that I'm feeling happy about.
I mean, I did...
This goes back to I know there's places in North Carolina where I can get flights of mimosas. So.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. We went to a place outside of Syracuse that's... It's what was it? A greenhouse.
Yeah.
And they did...
I'm almost positive I know the place you're talking about. Yeah.
And they did flights of mimosas with, flowers in them. They were paired with a flower.
Yeah. I'm almost positive I know the
And I murdered so many bees that day.
Sure.
I had some honey. Lured them away with the honey. Fucking murdered them.
I don't think that's
Some of them I pushed into the honey. And then I lifted them out with a carrot. And then I threw them on the ground and then I stomped on them. Felt great. Anyways, it's the Gamers 2 podcast, your weekly roundup of news and commentary related to the video game industry and anything else that might pique our interest, like murdering bees.
He took the words right out of my mouth.
They weren't bees. They were, I guess they'd be wasps.
Yeah, I say there is a very big difference between the two.
Yeah, I wouldn't murder bees.
No?
I mean, if it stung me, I
Okay.
would probably murder it out of anger.
Just making sure. Hey, ready? New releases. Okay, you want to talk about the headlines?
Oh, wow.
There are
Lots
none.
of new releases.
There's not next week either. I think it's the week after that we kind of kick into it a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, because
Typical New Year, everybody's got other games to play.
there's a bigger one coming out here in 2 weeks or so, right?
In a couple weeks, there's the new Like a Dragon.
Yep.
And then I'm sure there's other things that I'm forgetting about.
We'll cover them when they come up.
Yep. Because I got other things I got to play until then.
Probably gonna be short. Go.
Good.
Not the news is not thrilling, not exciting stuff. Maybe next week might be because
Cool. We'll see you guys next week. You can tune out now.
because CES is in full swing this coming week.
That's right,
So
yeah. Get all the fun
next
stuff about
weekend, I should
everybody
say.
buying 300-inch TVs.
it's always monitors. That's the shit I always see. Is like, oh, all these crazy monitors we have coming out.
We can fold this one into 4 different things. You're
Yeah.
like, why?
1 million megahertz.
Oh, you wanted more megahertz? We gave you gigahertz. It just becomes. I don't know why CES monitors are just a Power Thirst commercial.
They really are, though.
With our new model, Manana. And gun.
That, and it's always like some wild shit like, you like haptic feedbacks? We put them in your butthole. You know, like,
take haptic shits. Oh, I miss Power. Why isn't Power Thirst still just pumping out commercials for everything? Power spawning babies.
well, maybe, you should do commercials for various things in that theme.
Yeah, give me a marketing budget. I'll go viral with it again, and then we will also run Ubisoft, and we'll be the tech quadrillionaires that we're meant to be.
Yeah. Oh, you should do with that amount of money. All right. What do you
Buy
think?
other companies.
Yeah, of course.
Buy a country
Build apocalypse bunkers.
in Hawaii.
Buy
underground.
Hawaii.
Just buy Hawaii from the U.S. and be like, it's ours now.
Yeah, thanks. I'm going to take this.
Buy Alaska on principle. Just Alaska, though.
You could probably buy a lot of Alaska.
Yeah. I'm going to buy just all the Aleutian Islands.
Damn.
I just want the tail.
Just
Just want the tail of Alaska.
tail. I think that's a bad investment, given that the
It's a terrible investment.
oceans are supposed to be rising or some shit. I
But
don't
the
know.
key is that you put flood insurance on them. All.
Yeah, then you get all the money from the insurance companies.
Exactly. Because it's a natural disaster when the ocean rises and takes my land. You know that it's got to be some coastal developers fucking Hail Mary play.
They don't give a fuck.
Want to
They
talk
just-
about number one?
Yeah.
Willis Gibson, a 13-year-old from Wisconsin, is the first person ever to beat Tetris. Kind of. Forcing the more than 3-decade-old classic Nintendo game into a kill screen on level 157. Tetris's creator, Alexei Pajitnov. Nope. Pajitnov. Yes. Maintains that the game is unbeatable. Quote, he didn't crash my game, he crashed the program which was created 40 years ago by NES engineers. So the game is not crashable at all, end quote. Get fucked, little 13-year-old.
Get him.
Yes, all of that is technically true. It was thought unbeatable. Technically, that did happen. And also, technically, yes, he did. Guess what? Way to go, 13-year-old. You beat every other human on the planet that's tried.
I mean, it is an impressive feat. First person to ever do it. First human to ever do it, I should say. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm not... Possum in a cage with failure is not an option. It's a lifestyle, is the caption in sweet word art.
Okay.
Um,
Nate's not impressed.
not by that. Wait, by the 13-year-old, yes. By
Okay.
that image, no.
Okay. It's getting confusing,
I
conflicting.
know. I just heard the pig and looked.
Big yawns over here.
I
I don't know what it is. We start podcasting and I'm just like, oh, we're going to sleep.
I know we moved the sleep room from the living room to the office. It's
not
the
good.
problem.
Gotta get a bright white light in here. Shine it straight into my fucking retina. Nate's reaching over and he's touching his absolutely mammoth monitor light. I honestly did not know. I didn't want to make a big deal out of it when I first got it. But I honestly did not know they made them that big. Oh my god, and it rotates? Oh, Jesus.
Is that bright
That'll
enough?
do it.
Is that bright enough for the interrogation that I'm giving you?
That'll do it. Just so everyone knows, he basically just put a lightsaber in front of my eyeballs. That's funny. I genuinely didn't know that they made them that long. That's what she said.
That is pretty long.
It is. It's long.
2.5 feet, maybe.
Damn.
But yeah, shout out 13-year-old. Way to go, kid.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Did better than I could.
Oh man, this is weird. I don't remember doing this. All right, number 2. As reported by Deadline, Jack Black joins Jason Momoa, Emma Myers, and Daniel Brooks as those currently confirmed to appear in the Minecraft movie. It's being directed by Jared Hess, the filmmaker behind Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. Black is rumored to be playing Steve.
So that makes sense of why he got cast.
Yes.
Other than the fact that, yes, he's Jack Black, but
Mhm.
working with somebody that he's worked with before. There was also a joke I saw that said, pretty soon we're going to hear that Chris Pratt's body got found in mountains in Germany or something.
Yeah. I mean, he is the best thing in the Nintendo movie.
Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing like the Peach song.
It's the whole
Peaches.
Yeah, he's great in that.
I still love the red carpet one where they have I think it's Miyamoto in the foreground getting interviewed, and in the background it's Jack Black in his little Bowser suit doing a bunch of dumb, goofy poses for cameras, and it's like, yeah, that can't be a better juxtaposition of this entire situation. So yeah, I guess we'll see whatever the Minecraft movie ends up being.
Yeah, I'm curious because like he seems. I mean, my gut reaction. I like Jack Black, obviously. Who doesn't? My gut reaction is he's a little old to be playing Steve in a Minecraft movie, but like I'm hoping they do like.
Not if they just do voicing.
True, I didn't think about that.
If they literally pull Mario part, like
yeah, that's which is what they would do.
I mean, if they make him play Steve
weird.
in a blue T-shirt and pants and actually just walk around,
kind of great too, though. Like I really want like a dark Minecraft where it's like fucking Steve's like Castaway because he's been stuck in a fucking mine forever.
But I want to flip.
Okay.
I want them to start with that idea that Castaway happens, and then the same way that in Yakuza Like a Dragon, Ichiban thinks he is in Dragon Quest, the way that Jack Black is choosing to survive is by thinking he's in Minecraft, and then Wilsoning his way into the other characters existing by like talking to a villager, and it's just like there's nobody there.
Yeah,
he's just now built somebody like that. It could get real entertaining.
What if Jason Momoa is just playing villagers and he just walks around going, boop, 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 doing the fucking village? Yeah,
that'd be weird.
That would be weird.
What if he was playing an Enderman? Who's playing a zombie? Who's playing a skeleton? Who's playing the spiders?
I don't know. What is even this movie? What is
this movie? What if it's a bunch of them? Like it's an adventuring party type of thing.
Maybe. I got nothing, man. I don't know. I don't know what anything is anymore. Too old.
Number 3, Microsoft has unveiled the Copilot key, a new button for keyboards that will help usher in, as Microsoft Executive Vice President Yusuf Mehdi put it, a significant shift toward a more personal and intelligent computing future where AI will be seamlessly woven into Windows from the system to the silicon to the hardware.
Are we all just going to ignore the fact that Cortana was a thing?
Yeah, we're moving on.
Okay.
Cortana, the only part we're keeping that is the CEO, and we're going to Copilot.
Maybe they had the keys already like made and designed and everything for Cortana, and they're like, we can't change it now.
Yeah, we just switch the name.
I'm surprised they haven't.
I don't like the way that they're like, it will be seamlessly woven into Windows from the system to the silicon to the hardware to your flesh to your blood. Give me your blood.
We own your soul.
They're a step away from Apple being like, listen, if you could just use all of our apps to scan you into our computer, that'd be great. Like Apple's trying to do it like we just want to take a picture of you and then use you everywhere. And Microsoft's like, give me your fucking blood. You know the breathalyzers to drive, like after you get busted with a DUI, but they still let you drive for some reason.
Yeah.
So they wire your ignition to a breathalyzer. You have to breathe into it to start your car.
Yeah, every so often.
Yeah, I think it's a rare thing now, but that
kind of.
But then, well, I guess rare versus like either just arresting the person or not doing anything at all. Imagine that, but like you turn on your computer and they want to log in, and you have to have like a diabetes thumb prick happen where they take your blood to sign into your computer.
Yeah.
Is it terrifying that I like don't see that being like far off in the future?
No.
Or in some other countries probably already existing.
I mean, it was like a kind of like a the joke that everything's going subscription based was like a year or two ago was like, haha, that's it's funny. Now it's like,
Ha ha.
ha ha ha. I don't like this.
What if my subscriptions were just assigned my genetic DNA code? And whatever my
Isn't this a Justin Timberlake movie?
No, that's time.
Isn't it the same thing though? You have to buy time.
Yeah, you had an X amount of time. You could trade time, and time was the currency.
Yeah.
So there's similarities to the way you
or like
you
a
want.
Repo Man, I think was the one.
Kind of, yeah, little Repo Man. I'm thinking of like not to get too far into like how encryption works at like a base level, but there's a public key and a private key. And if you just if your DNA was considered a hash, or you could hash your DNA to the point where you could then like,
I don't like where you're going with this.
I know. Where then that's your login token. You no longer need a password manager because you are your password. The problem becomes if somebody chops your arm off, they are also you until that arm's blood no longer functions.
Oh, it's going to be one of those things where they take that concept and then mash it with biometrics. So like, they sense that you're alive, like kind of like how FaceTime works.
Yeah.
Or not FaceTime, Face ID.
Yeah, it's no longer two-factor authentication. It's like a thing you have and a thing you know.
Yeah.
It's just, are you you?
Yeah.
We're no longer doing two-factor. You? Are you alive? All right, we're good.
You good?
Yeah, it's two-factor in the way that, yeah, you need to give us part of you physically.
And you have to be alive.
And when we call you to verify that it is you, you have to answer instead of we just send you a code, type it in.
Yeah. They send you a
what a weird world we could live in, right?
I hate it. The reason why I hate it is because
we're not far off.
Yeah, it's like it's plausible enough to where like in a year or 2 or 2 or 3 years it'll be CES this year. That'll be the thing.
I say it's one of those. I could see this getting debuted at CES down the road from some company in Silicon Valley going, "We've gotten rid of all of this because what's the safest thing? Things that are inside you, your blood." And you're like, "Oh Jesus Christ!"
We're gonna implant haptics into your butt. Oh,
initially, they started with like. Because they've already done the whole thing where they're like, oh, you can get a chip embedded in your skin and use that as like an access token. Where you're like, oh, you want to pay with your debit card? Don't use an Apple Watch. Just insert the chip under your skin and then get beeped that way. And you're like,
why? I hate this reality.
But I wouldn't need to show my ID at the airport anymore.
It's true.
Just give them a little bit of blood. Which I don't know how that. Can you imagine if you were? We're tangenting so hard already. But can you imagine if you were?
What happens if you just got a blood transfusion?
What if? Well, there's that problem. But like, what if you were also so delusional?
Yes.
That you thought this was already like a thing, not like to that level, but you just were like, well, the government already has all of our DNA on file somewhere. They have to, right? The crows are cameras. Like you get to that whole, you get levels worth of conspiracy.
Yes.
And they're like, well, I got to fly. And you just show up. And instead of bringing your ID, you just cut your hand in front of the TSA agent and go, here's my blood. Where do I scan it? You already have the match to know it's me. And they're just going, you're not flying anymore.
Blacklist this motherfucker.
You are now on the no-fly list, you psychopath.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
Yeah. Number 4. Jukai Studio announced its closure over the holidays, despite launching its horror survival title Stray Souls last October. In a statement shared to social media on December 22nd, the developer cited many reasons for its decision to shut down, including the closure of its publisher Versus Evil, cyberbullying, poor reception to Stray Souls, and bad sales.
Those are all reasons that make sense.
Yes.
Does suck to shut down over the holidays, though.
Does. We're having a little bit of an industry contraction.
You know that whole, there's a red and a blue spectrum, and you're red shift, blue shift, and you shift, and universes expand and collapse, and expand and collapse.
It's a science podcast, physics podcast,
Yeah. Both.
philosophy podcast,
Always a philosophy podcast.
conspiracy, paranoia.
How can one... Number 5, Phoenix Labs alum Jean-Marie Owens and Jesse Houston have formed Critical Path Games. The new studio, co-located in Vancouver, intends to... Co-located where? In Vancouver.
I also was wondering what that meant because they did not. Nowhere did I see anyone
somewhere else.
I'm wondering.
Vancouver.
I'm wondering if there's 2 locations in Vancouver.
Maybe that's
which is her house and his house.
Which, to be fair, still means located in Vancouver.
That's true.
Co-located in Vancouver, intends to create a new video game genre. Owen's professional history includes a 9-year stint at Phoenix Labs, where she last served as chief operating officer. She also worked at EA as a production coordinator for 3 years. Meanwhile, Houston co-founded Phoenix Labs and served as its CEO since its foundation in 2014. They previously worked at Riot Games as senior producer and senior product manager. And in case you need a refresher, Phoenix Labs released Dauntless and Fae Farm. So, decent enough track record. I'm curious, when you say you're going to create a new genre, first off, the video game genres are cringe on like a base level because everything has an overlap somewhere.
Yes.
And to create a genre is not to create one title.
Well, I feel like
it's
kind
you
of
can attempt to like start a genre that way. So like Souls-like is the most thing that you would have to be aiming for.
That's a good example.
That's the easiest achievable one. At like when I say easy. He's
having a stroke. We're gonna put him down.
Easiest achievable genre like path is Souls-like because it's specific. You have a clear entry point, and then you only have so many branches off of that. From like the actual from Soft's angle of actual Souls games.
Yeah.
Then you have everybody that does their own take on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's technically Souls-like is actually a bastardization in a good way of old stuff like not Last Guardian, the other one that got remastered. Shadow of the Colossus. Where it's all of that old game difficulty brought to a modern standard.
Yeah.
So to say that you're going to create an entire new genre, you can't say something like, I'm going to create action as a new genre, because like, what the fuck? You're going to create horror as a genre. Like, no. What genre? You have to be almost specific type of genre. Roguelike is a genre that you cannot create. Indie is a genre that you cannot create. So I'm very curious what that means, or if it's just we need a good PR line. Let's say we're going to create a genre.
I would imagine, if we're being realistic, it's probably a little bit of that, a little bit of delusions of grandeur. You know?
Maybe, because even Dauntless was just Monster Hunter.
I was going to go into a whole rant that, if, games are have become so, genre-less, like that, they pull from so many, one game will pull from so many different genres, that if you're creating a game that is a genre, that is a new genre, then is it genre-less? It's like
what
a
if,
whole,
what if that was their moronic angle? We're going to create a new video game genre-less. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. You are not allowed to get away with doing this by saying that we incorporate everything, therefore we are nothing. That is not how
the only
that
person
works.
who can get away with that is Kojima. Okay?
Yeah. Or me when I'm having an argument in a different context. When I do the whole if everything is good, nothing is bad angle.
Self werewolf over here.
Red's coming for me.
All right. Number 6. Loot box researcher Leon Zhao has released the results of his latest study into loot box advertising, which found that ads for games on social media routinely run afoul of UK and EU regulations when it comes to disclosing the presence of loot boxes or even in-game purchases of any kind. Using a list of games known to have loot boxes that he had prepared for a previous study, Zhao combed through Meta's Meta's ad library, covering its Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger platforms, and found 188 ads for 63 different games featuring loot boxes. Only 11% of those ads properly gave notice that the game contained in-game purchases, and just 7% noted that the game contained loot boxes. What's more, games were often inconsistent in making such disclosures. Only one game, Elder Scrolls Online, disclosed both in-game purchases and loot boxes in every ad it ran. The situation on TikTok was largely similar.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. The EU is pretty good about fining. Like, they're usually pretty on top of laying down the fines.
When they care.
Well, let me rephrase that. They generally always get around to it. It's just not timely.
Yeah. Unless you're Belgium.
Yeah.
But also, it's one of those where it's like, if they're not looking at it and no parent is complaining about it,
yeah,
they're not going to notice.
Yeah.
Because this is how we get them to spend money. The parents start freaking out when they did spend the money.
Yeah.
We go for a cause and effect.
Yeah, I'm sure, like,
you're not shooting the messenger, you're shooting the kid that spent your money.
I'm sure regulators have other concerns with social media at the moment as well, so.
Yeah, but I'm sure they'll turn an eye eventually. So you're on a timetable.
They'll get you.
Number 7, speaking of Europe, CD Projekt Red's chief strategy officer, formerly CEO Adam Kaczynski, said the developer is not interested in being a part of a larger gaming firm. Quote, "We have worked our whole lives to get to the position we have now, and we believe that in a few years we will be even bigger and stronger. We have ambitious plans, and we are passionate about what we do. We value our independence," end quote. He also addressed whether CD Projekt Red would instead acquire any gaming studios for itself, and Kaczynski said that the firm isn't planning to purchase any firm at the time. However, he said, quote, "Of course, we are open to ideas that could accelerate the implementation of our strategy," end quote.
That does sound very evil.
"No, we would like to implement our strategy across the little one known as Ubisoft."
They should. That's what should happen.
Can you imagine?
CD Projekt should buy Ubisoft.
Does that help either studio though?
No.
Like, when you really think about it, does that?
No. I mean, like, on
Or
face
is that
value.
Is that just Ubisoft buying itself?
On face value, no, but I want them to do it, surprise everyone, and have like a crazy good plan where they just like they do all these things and restructure Ubisoft or something, and we're just like, what the fuck happened? You know,
They buy Ubisoft just to break down and sell off titles.
Yeah, like
Which I'm surprised. I think that whatever does end up eventually happening to Ubisoft, I'm almost positive that is what will happen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think like what would be best for Ubisoft is if it did that to itself,
yes,
and trimmed itself down to like maybe 1 or 2 franchises, and that's it, and then start from scratch with like 2 or 3 studios.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're not going to talk about Ubisoft for an entire podcast because for whatever reason, we do get sucked into that trap quite often. Because it gets
I just
going.
believe we could fix them.
We're like the girl that's always like, I can fix him.
Or the guy, I can fix her.
Listen, I don't know what you're talking about. Women don't need fixing, all right? They're all perfect.
Not getting canceled in the new year. Not getting canceled.
Sony has been fined 13.5 million euros by French antitrust regulator Oh, fuck, how'd I end up with this one? I'm not French. Authority of the currency. Authority of the concurrence. I don't know. It's some French fucking authority. Which is accused
French
Sony.
authority. Oh, sorry.
I know, right?
Conceptually, though, it sounded funnier.
Which has accused Sony of abusing its dominant position in the market by restricting third-party PlayStation 4 controllers. Filed by the regulator last month following a referral from French controller manufacturer Subsonic, its investigation found that Sony put counterfeiting measures in place in November 2015 that caused third-party controllers to regularly disconnect from the console during system updates. The competition regulator also found that third-party manufacturers face difficulty in joining its licensing program, which alleges that Sony refused to communicate terms and criteria to manufacturers who requested it. That does sound like a Sony move, where it's like, oh, we have this program. And then they're like, oh, yeah, we'd like to join this program. Fucking crickets. Like, no.
Yeah. Shush your mouth. Shut your mouth right now. Like, but we want to know. Hey, no. Shh. Literally, it's just them yelling up to a window, and then the other one just shutting it, and then still continuing to look out the window, but just see them yelling, but just not able to respond.
Yeah, that's kind of timely, actually. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't know if you saw it's not in here, but Fanatec or Fanatic, however you want to say it,
racing.
Yeah, they caught some flack recently because they haven't shipped out any of their new wheelbases because they claimed they're waiting for Sony's certification. And that's what's delaying it.
So they're purposely that guy.
Yes.
No, yes. You got to go yell at him.
And now it's like you have two companies who are shisty. So you're like, which one is it? Is it Sony? Or is it Fanatec? Because you guys aren't fucking trustworthy either.
But now if you have France going, Sony's
done this before.
Answer them. Number 9, Sega Europe has announced some big changes to its leadership structure, including the return of former President Jurgen Post. Post rejoins as COO of West Studios and Regional Managing Director. He previously served as President and COO for Sega Europe from 2012 to 2017 during what the publisher described as a period of exponential growth. He had been working at Sega for 10 years before he left for a 3-year stint at Tencent. In 2020, he was named CEO of Miniclip. As Post returns, Sega Europe also loses 2 long-running executives. President and CEO Gary Dale is stepping down from his position, having joined the company in 2018, while Chief Studios Officer Tim Heaton is also departing. Heaton first joined Sega in 2009, originally as studio director for Creative Assembly. Sega has been making changes to its European operations for several months now, most notably resulting in layoffs at Creative Assembly when upcoming multiplayer title Hyenas was canceled. Sega, man.
Yeah.
In the news, doing things.
They want to make that comeback. Make a console, you cowards.
Jeez. Sign your death warrant.
Yes.
You just ask them to kill themselves. Hey, make a new console. No. I'm gonna stick with my little blue man over here. We're gonna make another movie.
I guess it works. Oh, I'm so fucking old. Now,
what time to realize that?
I just hate it. I just hate everything. Number 10. Activision Blizzard devs seem to be getting things off their chest now that Bobby Kotick is gone.
It's been a banger seeing some of the tweets come out.
I didn't have time to seek a lot out. I only have 2 in here. So
That's
if you
fine.
know of others once we go through them.
I'm assuming
I'll just read them out. From
not in here, but
yeah, from former senior manager of community development at Activision Blizzard, Andy Belford, quote, breaking my silence to share a fun fact. When we planned Overwatch 2's Steam launch, my team warned months in advance that we're going to be review bombed. We begged for more information, more details, and more resources to help us with the anticipated influx, all flatly denied. Moderation of Steam was put on the community team, which is not a function of community at Blizzard, despite my refusal to want to expose members of my team to that level of toxic content and posts. When asked whose decision it was to launch on Steam with no additional help, Bobby. End quote. And then Christina Pollock, a former programmer at Demonware, which is a subsidiary of Activision Blizzard, also shared her experience working on the Call of Duty franchise. Quote, I worked on COD for 2 years as a programmer at Demonware. Bobby's decisions made our games worse. In my first month it came out he threatened to have an employee killed.
Yep.
End quote.
Bobby is a piece of shit.
Scheiße.
But you know what that means. There's a lot more. If you go find, mainly they're on Twitter. There's a bunch where you can find some Bobby stories, and I'm sure there's actually probably like a article on some site that has like a decent list of them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But those are a couple I saw. So some of the ones that were just like he's an actual piece of shit and a waste of space and hampered all of our growth for years. So we'll see.
Yeah.
You know what time it is though, Matt?
It is Rumor Roundup. I don't know.
I don't know. PlayStation's 2024 hype trailer seemingly confirms a few games for this year: Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, the Silent Hill 2 remake, and Firewalk Studios PvP shooter Concord. None of them I'm interested in. So that's not a good start.
No. It's not.
The Silent Hill 2 remake is likely content complete and in its polishing phase as developer Bloober Team is shifting its focus onto other projects.
Which makes sense.
The Silent Hill remake I'm at least curious to see.
Yeah.
But I don't care to play it.
Yeah, not my thing.
Canton Games analyst Dr. Sirkin Toto predicts a Switch 2 that will be an iteration rather than a revolution, but will nonetheless target a higher $400 price tag than the Switch's standard $300. That both makes sense to me. I don't think we're ready to. I don't think they've mastered what they wanted to do with the Switch yet, and I don't think we're ready for the revolution that Nintendo would normally try to bring to the table.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of Nintendo's confusing in the sense that when it comes to their consoles, they do wild shit. But when it comes to their handhelds, they're very iterative. Switch is like
even this is supposed to still be in the joke of them. This is a console. I know where you and I both stand, but I know Nintendo says it's a console, which then still makes sense. Where the Switch 2 would be closer to the Wii U iteration of the Wii, where they're like,
that's not a good comparison.
No. I know it's not a good comparison. Like,
yeah, I know. What
in terms of what numbers are about to say.
Yeah,
but you go, yeah, we're still going to do a console. We're just going to modify a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And I think they've learned from the Wii and Wii U issue to not go that far away from something that was so good for them.
Yeah.
Like, if you still had the game library that you put on Wii U and got rid of the fucking Switch controller for it,
yeah,
you would have been in a better state.
What I really hope is, I hope they keep it backwards compatible, which I think we've seen rumors that they have, and I think it would be dumb not to, considering that you can get almost all of the Switch games running on PC. So it's like there's not really. Granted, I think a lot of them have to be locked at 60 frames per second, but that's acceptable.
Better than the Switch.
Yeah, that's really acceptable. So,
next one. PlayStation 5 Pro is likely to support AI upscaling in some form, judging from a leaked Marvel Wolverine slide that's been making the rounds online. Not horribly surprised. According to a new Disney blog, Star Wars Outlaws is coming to us in late 2024.
Doubt.
Yep. Press X to doubt. Because that's Massive, and Massive still needs to ship Heartland, so... And they just shipped Avatar, so how big is
If it comes out in 2024, it's going to be a massive pile of shit.
Hey-ho! The Nintendo Switch Flash Cart that was shown off in a video shared online last month is apparently a product developed by a third party and cannot be blocked by Nintendo with a simple firmware update. It's called the MIG Switch, and it's everything therefore that Matt and I thought about.
Yep. Apparently, I'll say some additional details on it. So they claim that it can't be blocked by Nintendo because the device itself is designed to be upgradable. So, like, they'd be able to constantly update it to get around blocks. And also, the rumor is, remember the guy who, he was a part of like a hacker group, but like Gary Bowser was his name, and
oh yeah,
he was the one that owes like millions of dollars to Nintendo.
Yeah, he owes a ton.
He's rumored to be linked to this, but he denies it, obviously.
Yeah. Bowser. Bowser's a Nintendo, you know what I mean? One's leading them, one's trying to take them down.
Yep. One makes them money.
That's true. Xbox Direct.
Two of them make some money, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Xbox Direct will be held
Actually, all three of them make them money.
Also true. All four of them. Baby Bowser. Xbox Direct will be held January 14th. So
I hope that's true.
You got something to look forward to.
I hope that's true, and I hope we still haven't gotten a release date for Hellblade, right?
Nope.
Why do I remind myself of the pain?
Sony has patented a smarter download mechanism that will allow you to play games in chunks as they download. I got a better idea. Let me just download the whole thing faster, dicks.
Don't come in here with good ideas.
News on the return of the NCAA football franchise, now named EA College Football, is expected to appear Monday, likely during the College Football Championship game. Tom Henderson believes that Q3 is the time frame for a PS5 Pro announcement. I believe that because then it would be a Q1 release, or either a late Q4 or an early Q1 release.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because it would be next January, February. Studio Gobo, the Redfall co-developer, is developing a narrative-based AAA game in Unreal Engine 5. And got some info on the rumored Horizon MMO. An NCSoft employee, oh boy, NCSoft, you remember them, posted a job listing on LinkedIn with codename logo stylized similarly to the logo of Horizon Games. It's being developed under the codename Project Skyline, with the initial codename being Project H, PC and mobile, but no PS5. Unreal Engine 5. It is expected to launch significantly later than Aeon 2, which is anticipated to be released in 2024 and 2025. Does everybody even remember what Aeon 1 was?
No.
The project is developed in Sunggu Lee's Lineage IP division and is led by Hong Young Choi, who previously was head of Lineage W development. The project started around 2021, according to a former NCSoft employee's resumes on LinkedIn and Facebook, and around 140 people worked on the project in September of 2023, comparable to other, more advanced and already announced projects such as Lineage M and Lineage W. And Lineage did every other letter through the alphabet. NCSoft registered a domain for what appears to be a game titled Land of Salvation.
Yeah. That's firmly
a lot in there
rumor.
to say we know fucking nothing.
Yeah, basically.
That literally here's what you need to understand from that. Horizon might get an MMO. NCSoft has a bunch of games that they're working on. They have employees. They bought a domain name
to go with a whole pile of other domain names they bought.
Yeah, that's it's one thing to do a puzzle and not look at the box. It's another thing to do the puzzle with all the pieces flipped upside down. It's just the same color of the back.
Pain!
And you're just guessing on shapes.
All right, now for questionable things we didn't write full paragraphs on. Dave the Diver has sold 3 million copies.
Well done, Dave.
Yeah, good job, Dave, diving for that money. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty has sold over 5 million units.
That's actually really impressive.
You want to know another impressive one? Football Manager 2024 has reached 6 million players.
So you want to know why that's super impressive?
Yes.
One, it keeps growing.
Yes.
It is in the Yakuza train of
bigger and bigger.
Bigger and bigger, more eyes and more eyes, and and people falling in love with something they didn't think they wanted.
Yes.
And it's on Game Pass. So that's counting Game Pass people. So it's just
Game Pass.
Game Pass. Hey, did you hear about our Lord and Savior?
Game Pass. Something's coming on. Valhalla is coming. It's coming to Game Pass this month, I think.
Matt Booty killing it again.
There's another one too that's pretty big get for Game Pass. I can't remember what it was. Anyways, Glue's mobile game Kim Kardashian Hollywood is shutting down on April 8th. Pop that champagne.
Onto your butt.
Ah, good reference.
Such a stupid fucking joke.
World of Demons, the Apple Arcade game from Platinum Games, is ending service.
Absolutely no idea what we're talking about now.
Same. UK developer Bossa Studios has laid off around 1/3 of its staff. VR game developer Archiac, maybe, has announced redundancies have taken place at the studio. They didn't disclose how many employees were affected, though.
I'd say I know that means that people were laid off, but it's just such a weird thing to say.
It is. I'm not a fan of it.
Redundancies have taken place. Yeah, they take place every day.
Yeah.
That's what a redundancy is.
Yeah.
But what was the consequence of said redundancy? Oh, you let somebody lose their job. That's what you mean.
You fuck someone's life up. Got it. Nexon has been fined $8.9 million by the Korea Fair Trade Commission for allegedly neglecting to inform customers about probability changes to its in-game items in MapleStory. ID at Xbox has been accused of using AR to promote indie games, specifically an image of a wintry scene on a post that was removed. China approved more games for release in 2023 than in the previous 2 years, with over 1,000 titles granted a publishing license.
Huh.
Frogwares has announced it is the sole publisher of The Sinking City. There was legal stuff there. I'm not going to get into it. As part of CES 2024, Samsung unveiled a new partner accessory program designed specifically for its Samsung Gaming Hub platform.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're basically...
There's going to be a lot of that, too.
Yep.
A lot of gaming hubs on TVs.
Yep. That's basically just like, they stamp the device to say it absolutely works on our system.
Yeah.
It's
got our seal of approval.
Yeah. Square Enix's president said that they will apply AI aggressively to create new forms of content.
Hey, Square, fuck off.
Exactly.
You already lost all your other titles.
Get fucked.
Yeah, use AI to make foam stars better. You fucking losers.
Fallout.
It's a really aggressive take against the team of foam stars, but
Fallout creator Tim Kaine is consulting for Obsidian on The Outer Worlds 2.
It's just funny.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of funny. Fucking bury him in the ground. Obsidian. Anyways, after 5 years, NCSoft officially grants a license to popular City of Heroes private server Homecoming. I didn't even know there was still a City of Heroes server going.
I'm surprised there is, and it's not just some dude in a basement keeping it alive.
Star Wars Galaxies still, a couple servers still going, and they're getting more and more popular.
Again, certain things, man, just growing.
Star Citizen now offers a $48,000 Legatus bundle.
Fuck off.
Containing every ship in game. And you know what's funny is I just read while we were sitting here that basically to get this bundle, to be able to buy this bundle, you would have to have already have spent $10,000.
Fuck off.
There's an Xbox Series S toaster for sale at Walmart in case you're interested.
Official.
Yeah, official. And I double checked because I clicked on the link and it was fucking Xbox.
And you can get the Series X fridge too.
Yep.
Just to go with it.
Get a
Do
whole
kitchen.
appliance with your fucking keyboard with your new AI key on it.
Yeah. I did at one point debate buying one of the Series X fridges. Because it
They're
fits,
kinda neat.
I think it fits 6 cans.
Yeah, they're a neat little thing.
And I debated just like putting it over there or something.
Yeah. Where's the new key gonna be on that key? Is it replacing one of the Windows keys, or is it? Do we know? Because there's 2 Windows keys, right?
No.
There's not 2 Windows keys?
No.
Isn't there one on each side of the space bar?
Yeah. But also that depends. I guess that's default on a 110.
Yeah.
But if you were on an 80 or a 60, so who knows?
Yeah, I don't really care.
Presumably, it probably will replace one of the Windows ones, but frankly, who gives a shit?
No one's actually going to follow
Why are we making
it.
new buttons?
Yeah, no one's actually going to do it.
Yeah, because if you try to make a 111 key keyboard,
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
You're going to piss everybody off.
I'll take a knob on my keyboard, just for shits and giggles, but get the fuck out of here with that.
And sometimes the knobs are convenient if it's just an audio dial. That's
what
right
I like.
There. It's like
I just like an audio dial. I know that's like in the keyboard community. I know that can be heresy sometimes, but
it can be. Yeah, I don't have one, but I'm not in the keyboard community.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to be.
I haven't spent enough zeros on keyboards to to be in that community. Anyway, it's been 7 days, and I'm trying not to use the bathroom. So what's up?
Not much. I had to. My sim rig's not up and running. I'm pretty upset about that. But I had some fighting. I don't know if I talked about this last time, but there was some tomfoolery with my seat.
Oh no! You said you had gotten it, but that was it.
I got it. I snotting all over the place over here.
Your mic. Do what you want?
I
could buy 2 of these.
I attempted to hook it up to the rig, and what I had purchased was from Amazon. It was an NRG seat. Well, it turns out, long story short, NRG does not sell seats on Amazon.
Oh,
so essentially, it's a knockoff, and it's like fake, but they 100% make it look like
legit.
Yeah, and there was 3 issues, and I thought I could get around them, and then I couldn't because it was cheap. So I was like, I don't want to deal with having to try to return it and all this and that. So I was like, I'll just make it work. And I did some I did some stuff. I tried putting it on a certain way in a certain order so that I could work around things. But long story short, there was 3 problems. The mounting holes on the seat were not symmetrical. So one side was lower than the other, or higher than the other, whatever you want to say. And then the brackets that came with it, one was bent, they're shaped like L's. One was bent in more than the other.
Yeah, so they weren't at 90. They were.
Yeah. So I worked around those issues, and then when I got the rig on there, I got it straight. I got the slider working so it wouldn't get cockeyed when you were trying to slide. I sat in it, and I just felt like I wasn't centered on the steering wheel. And I stood up behind the seat and I looked straight down, and the whole back of it is warped. So your right shoulder was more forward than your left.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Fuck you at this point. So I stripped it all down and I sent it back to Amazon. I had to take 2 boxes from work that fucking giant furnace filters come in.
Yeah,
to fit it
back in. Yeah.
And shipped it out, got my money back, and now I got to find something else to find something else to buy that'll be better.
Yeah.
More reliable. And that's where I'm at. Yeah. I still have to check the 2 other monitors I got. I haven't checked them yet, so I got to remember to do that this weekend. And that's about it. I haven't had anything else to say and go on. Watched all the episodes of Reacher that were available. It's whatever. And then
yeah, I still haven't started season 2 yet.
It's all right. It's fine. It's not anything special.
No, I mean, it's Reacher.
Yeah.
I mean, season 1 was just a good popcorn time.
Yeah, that's basically, he does some cool shit.
Yeah.
He headbutts some dude's elbow the wrong way, which was pretty cool.
That's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, oh, that's pretty badass. Anyways, what have you been up
to? Finished Like a Dragon.
Awesome.
So I'm caught up.
Ready.
And ready. And when I finished it, I got to the end and I was like, I'm so happy I did not watch Ray play this.
I could, huh? It's nice to experience it on your own.
It was nice to do it on my own. I got the whole teary-eyed thing. It's I guess 20 years. I'm trying to think of early Yakuza. I mean, for me, it's like a 3-year culmination because of watching and playing all of them
Mm.
and knowing the story.
Yeah.
But then they do like a payoff thing, and it's just like, yeah,
Nice.
feels good. And so I was just like, well, I'm teary-eyed sitting on my PC tonight. Fuck. I'm going to bed.
Got me right in the feels.
Yeah, basically. So that's done. I'm on to Assassin's Creed Mirage. The only thing I don't like about Mirage so far, I just don't like their combat system. The game's pretty, it runs well. I still have fun playing Assassin's Creed again of, running around being assassiny. I either have to I think I just have to force myself to get used to the combat system, which might just take a bit.
I think they genuinely tried to make it so
Which
they don't want you in combat.
Which, in your theory of that,
Mm-hmm.
I agree to that, and I wonder that if I burn that into my brain and go play to avoid combat,
Yeah.
does that just therefore make everything better for me? Like, because I'm so far removed from, even though you can get away with it for a pretty good while, but Assassin's Creed 1,
Mm-hmm.
way back in the day,
Yeah.
you were punished for getting into open combat
Mm-hmm.
until like way later in the game because you were low level with barely a sword ability and yada yada. So, but we've come so far in that where it's like, no, you can get into combat, you'll be okay. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. To the point where you were storming England and taking it over.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like that was like their whole marketing, not marketing, but a lot of what they talked about with the lead up to the game was going back to the roots and being like, oh, it's going to be about assassinating, be sneaky and all that stuff again. So it's like,
but even that, to me, I went, oh, they're just going to go back to like AC2, Brotherhood, AC3 era, where you were still not punished to get into open combat because that's when they put in the whole stand there with counter up and then just press counter kill. So I was like, okay, we're not going to go back that far, but they will. Maybe it'll still be like you can still fight in open combat, but like we want you to be more sneaky. So like open combat will be harder, but it won't be clunky. And that's the part that pisses me off, is that it feels clunky to be in open combat.
They took it's 100%, it's an Ubisoft thing.
Yes.
They spent how many fucking games perfecting this combat?
Yep.
And it was genuinely fun to play in Valhalla.
Yep.
And then they were
Origin were the first time they redid it.
And then they took this really cool combat system that they had come up with and says, all right, we gotta tone it back. What are we gonna do? Okay, let's fucking break it. Basically, they took this awesome combat.
They literally scrapped it. That pisses me off.
And then they just like threw a bunch of monkey wrenches in it, and you ended up with the clunky mess that you got.
And it pisses me off because they could have achieved exactly what they want. We're going to go back to being, slower, more stealthy, whatever. Yeah. They could have achieved that exact same thing with having the exact button mapping and stuff that Valhalla had.
Yeah.
The exact thing. They could have still achieved
the button mapping thing doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why change it?
I don't know, man. And I'm coming out of Spider-Man,
which
Alan
is
Wake
super fluid.
Alan Wake is shooting, but coming out of Spider-Man, which is super fluid movement, and all the buttons just make sense. Like if you were to sit down and play any type of beat 'em up, you could sit down and put your hands in Spider-Man and be like, oh yeah, no, these buttons make sense to me. I don't know why. Like to me, Spider-Man has the perfect controls. If I go, oh
yeah,
this is what a fighter should be.
To be fair, Sony's games generally nail that as far as like
because I think for the most part they're usually consistent.
They are.
Even though they're made by different studios, they're like, oh, these feel correct. We use these.
I think Sony has
they might have like a baseline or a template type of thing.
Yeah,
like you should put buttons.
Try to follow this scheme.
Yeah. But even Yakuza made more sense. I mean, it's a full beat 'em up, so it's but it's like playing that, and then I'm going to this. And I'm like, all right, my goal is not to complete the mission now. My goal is to not get into combat and kill everyone.
Yeah,
and it's just like the mission you watched me do, right? Getting to the part where I died. There's the two dudes. I can't do a double assassin. So I can't fight them. So I walk into the room.
That immediately kind of confused me because when that happened, and then you went into the combat, I'm like, what are they fucking doing here? Like, you can't make a game, and you were very clearly they were very clear about like this is going to be more stealth than open combat, and then also put the player in a situation to where like they're basically fucked.
Yeah,
because your options were kill the two people, which you can't do,
which would have put me in combat because I could have
Or-
assassinated one but not the other.
or go into a courtyard full of people that you literally can't navigate.
Yeah, which when I came around the corner, it was a guard looking down the hall towards where I was, and a guard on the wall.
Yeah,
I managed to get one of them, but immediately one went, "Hey," and then 20 showed up.
Yeah.
So it's like, what did you want me to like? When I play it back, I'll look at it all again and see if there's like a better way to do what I did.
Mhm.
But it's just like, what you want me to be stealthy, and then you gave me no way out.
Yeah.
So if you want me in combat at that point, fine, I'll do that. I will find a way to do it. But it's just like,
Yeah, it's just not.
what do you want me to do?
I mean, they should reward you if they want you to play stealth. They should reward you more for playing stealth instead of punishing you for.
Yeah. Or
Being in open
because
combat.
I'm worried it's like you walk, you see those two dudes and they go, okay, I can't do that. So you turn into the room, right?
Yeah.
And when you turn into the room, you couldn't go left, I think. So you had to go right. And when you go right, if what they want me to do is to pause on that corner and whistle to make the one guy walk over to me,
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense in my head for the fact of a courtyard of 40 some odd people would also, not that they're not enemies, they're just random people, but like in your lure him over.
If you're in a courtyard,
If I'm in a courtyard going,
no guard is going to be like, what the fuck was that?
yeah, let me go. Like that wouldn't register in my brain to do that.
Yeah. I don't know. You're
Not to mention, there's still the other guy at the end of the hallway that was looking at me.
and I'm pretty sure that there was people on the left side as well.
Yeah.
How far into it are you? I mean, how long?
Like maybe 2 hours.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe it's something that will resolve itself once you.
That's my other thing is like once I get more skill points and everything.
Because I know you can like throw the knives.
Yeah,
and stuff at
I
some
got
point.
throwing knives.
Okay.
But it's like, are those one hit kills? I don't know. So far, I've used them only to like do the environmental like knock out something. And
Yeah.
that's obviously a one hit kill. But I don't know if I just throw them at somebody if that's a assassination.
Who the fuck knows? Guess you'll find out at some point.
Yeah. Probably this weekend when I get back to it. But all right then. Happy New Year, and we'll see you guys in 7 days. Bye-bye.